Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I welcome you to today's Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita session. Today is March 5th, 2026. We are reading from Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, Chapter 9. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu's travels to the holy places in South India. So yesterday we read Mahaprabhu spent his 4 months of Chaturmasya in Sri Rangam, staying in the house of a Sri Vaishnava Brahmana called Venkata Bhatta. And while he was staying there, every day he would go to the river Kaveri to take bath and then go and see the temple of Ranganath. While there, he would sing and dance in ecstasy, and seeing this, all the people of Rangakshetra were wonderstruck. And people started coming to Sri Rangam from different countries to see Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. They were coming in hundreds of thousands. And everyone who came, when they saw Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, all their lamentation and distress would be completely vanished, destroyed. And they would all, simply by seeing him, they would all start chanting Krishna's names. In fact, they would only chant Hare Krishna and not chant anything else. Everyone became devotees of Krishna. When the people in general saw this, how the peoples were becoming Krishna devotees in hundreds of thousands simply by seeing Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, everyone was amazed. The people in general were amazed. Then, while he was staying like this in the house of Venkata Bhatta, many brahmanas, so when everyone saw Mahaprabhu's beauty and his ecstasy, they were completely wonderstruck. And when they saw how so many millions of people were becoming devotees of Krishna just by seeing him, all the brahmanas of Sri Rangam began to, they wanted Mahaprabhu, they honored him so much, they wanted him to come and take prasadam in their house. So every day Mahaprabhu was getting invitations from the different brahmanas living in Sri Rangam, Sri Vaishnava brahmanas. And each day Mahaprabhu would go to a different brahmana's house. And in this way, all 4 months of Chaturmas were completed. And there were many brahmanas who didn't get their turn. Even though they invited Mahaprabhu, they didn't get their turn because there's only 4 months in Chaturmasya. During these 4 months, there was one brāhmaṇa residing in Srirangam who would go to the temple of Ranganath every day, and there he would recite the entire Bhagavad-gītā, all 18 chapters. And but there was a problem. Because he was illiterate, he could not pronounce the words properly. So, hearing him recite Bhagavad-gītā in that way, the people around would make fun of him. They would joke with him. Oh, how is your reading of Bhagavad-gītā going on today? Well, brāhmana, like that. They would tease him. But he was getting such transcendental ecstasy by regularly reading the 18 chapters of Bhagavad-gītā that even though he was being teased and laughed at by the people because of his not being able to pronounce the words correctly, it didn't matter to him. He didn't care. He was completely absorbed in the transcendental ecstasy of reading Bhagavad-gītā. So some people would laugh at him. Some people would criticize him. What type of reading is this? Like that. But he didn't pay any attention to them, neither to the criticism nor to the, mocking. He was completely overcome by the bliss, the ecstasy due to his reading of Bhagavad-gītā. And he was completely blissful at heart. As a result of this ecstasy, there were symptoms such as raising, hair standing on end, tears welling up in his eyes, trembling of the body, perspiration of the body. For as long as he was reading, all these ecstatic symptoms were visible on his body. And Mahaprabhu, when he noticed this, he became very happy. So yesterday, we read in the purport, Srila Prabhupada elaborated on this point, that the Lord is pleased by our devotion. He is not pleased by any other material qualification, such as high learning, scholarship, right? We are big pandits. That's not what is going to attract the Lord. If you want the Lord to be attracted to you, then you should render devotional service to the Lord. Mahaprabhu was pleased to observe these symptoms. And also we went over the different stages of bhakti, what happens in the initial stage, and then as one progresses, these ecstatic symptoms are manifested in the highest stage, in bhava and prema bhakti stages. So, even if this brāhmana was not able to pronounce the words properly, Mahaprabhu didn't take that very seriously. He was pleased by his advanced state of devotional service. So then, Srila Prabhupada quoted the verse from Bhagavatam, where Srila Narad Muni is explaining to Srila Vyasadeva that that book, which is full of descriptions of the glories of the Supreme Lord, even if it has some literary faults, the pure devotees of the Lord, they accept such books. They don't consider the faults. Not only do they hear those books, those literature, but they also speak on them and they repeat it again and again. Like that. So now let's continue. So what we read yesterday was that Mahaprabhu was pleased. Mahaprabhu puchila tāṅre śuno mahāśaya kon artha jāni tomāra eta sukha hoy. So when the other brahmanas were teasing this brahmana or the other people, other brahmanas, when they were teasing him, he wouldn't reply to them. He wouldn't be bothered by that. He wouldn't answer. When they were teasing, they would also probably come and ask, well, Brahmana, how is your reading going on today? Like that. They would be teasing. They knew that he could not read. But still he's sitting there and he's reading. He was illiterate. He could not read. That's why Ashuddha Padilo is said. He was reading Ashuddha, means not clearly, not properly. But when Mahaprabhu, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu came and saw the ecstasies on the person of this Brahmana, Mahaprabhu inquired, listen, O respectable one, O great one, kon artha jāni tomāra eta sukha hoy? What is it? What do you say? Which part of Bhagavad-gītā, understanding which portion of Bhagavad-gītā is giving you so much bliss, may I know? Like that. Kon artha jāni, by knowing which portion of Bhagavad-gītā, by understanding which meaning, are you experiencing so much bliss, may I know? Like this. Mahaprabhu asked this Brahmana. So let's see what the Brahmana did. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu asked the Brahmana, my dear sir, why are you in such ecstatic love? Which portion of the Bhagavad-gītā gives you such transcendental pleasure? So normally when somebody would come and criticize him, he would not respond. He would just go on with his reading. But let's see what this Brahmana did when Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu asked. Because you see, the Brahmana could understand that Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is not like the other Brahmanas who was talking to him simply to mock him. That was not the case. He could understand. So when Mahaprabhu came and asked, my dear sir, my dear Brahmana, O great one, can you tell me which portion of Bhagavad-gītā? No, what is making you so ecstatic? May I know what is making you so ecstatic? Which portion of Bhagavad-gītā is giving you so much ecstasy? May I know? Like this, Mahaprabhu asked. Vipra kahe mūrkha ami śabdārtha na jāni śuddhāśuddha gītā paḍi guru-ājñā māni. To Mahaprabhu, this Brahmana began to speak and explain the truth. So he's saying, Vipra kahe, the Brahmana said, mūrkha ami. I am an illiterate. I am a fool. Mūrkha. Śabdārtha na jāni. Because Mahaprabhu asked, can you tell me which meaning of Bhagavad-gītā, which portion of Bhagavad-gītā, understanding which portion of Bhagavad-gītā is giving you so much bliss? May I know, understanding which portion of Bhagavad-gītā is giving you so much bliss? So he said, I am an illiterate, I am a fool. I don't know any meanings. I don't understand. I can't even read. What meanings will I understand? Śabdārtha na jāni. I don't understand the meanings of the words. I am an illiterate. śuddhāśuddha gītā paḍi. I read Bhagavad-gītā whichever way I am able to read. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, because I don't understand. I don't understand the meanings. Śuddhā-aśuddha gītā paḍi. right? Sometimes correct and sometimes not correct. When I'm reading the Gita, some words may be correct, some words may be wrong, but I don't understand any meaning. I don't understand. Sometimes uh, this happens with children. When you're, or whoever, in the beginning stages of learning, the alphabet, the sounds that the alphabet makes. And you take up a book and you start reading. It's not that you know the meanings of all the words. You may know just a few, like small words like and it, like that. Some words maybe you know. But by which alphabet makes which sound, so you just make up. Like while you're reading, you just join the letters and you just read. Small children do that. They'll be reading. They don't understand what they're reading, but they just read by making up, connecting the alphabets together and reading like that. So this Brahmana is saying, I don't know the meanings of words. Sometimes I read correctly, sometimes I don't read correctly because I don't know. I don't know what is right and what is wrong, but I just keep reading. And sometimes it is right and sometimes it is not right. Like that. Śuddhāśuddha, Gita Podi, guru-ājñā māni. Then why I am reading? Because my spiritual master has ordered me. Because my spiritual master has ordered me, I am reading. But actually, I don't understand what I'm reading. And even what I read, sometimes it is correct, sometimes it is wrong, but I don't know. I read because my guru ordered me to read. The Brahmana replied, I am illiterate and therefore do not know the meaning of the words. Sometimes I read the Bhagavad-gītā correctly and sometimes incorrectly. But in any case, I am doing this in compliance with the orders of my spiritual master. Purport. This is a good example of a person who had become so successful that he was able to capture the attention of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu even while reading the Bhagavad-gītā incorrectly. So, again, further elaborating on the point, what attracts the Lord's attention? This is a good example of a person who had become so successful. It is not possible for us to see Krishna. All we can do is do that activity by which the Lord may be attracted towards us. Then when the Lord is attracted towards us, then he will reveal himself to us. When he reveals himself to us, that is when we can see him. So what is it that we can do that will attract the Lord towards us? The Lord is only attracted towards bhakti. He is not attracted to anything else. He is not attracted to anything else. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracted to bhakti. When a person has bhakti, the Lord is following behind that devotee. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamiham. He is going behind such a devotee. The devotee does not have to, search for the Lord. When the devotee is carrying bhakti in his heart, the Lord is following behind that devotee. Carrying all the things. He says he's personally carrying on his back, he's carrying the things that his devotee needs. So much the Lord is attracted by bhakti. Bhakti means, again, always pure devotional service. So here is a good example of one who had become so successful. That means he got pure devotional service. Even in pure devotional service, like we were discussing yesterday, there are various stages. There are various stages in pure devotional service. uh, like this. This is, before we get Dhrida Shraddha, most of us are here only still, this orange area, Daiva Varna Ashrama Dharma. That means we are still doing duties. It's another thing that we are not doing Varnashrama duties to some extent, not really, like not strictly, because our livelihood is earned by means which are not prescribed in the Vedas, in the scriptures. The types of career and profession that we have nowadays, they are not according to the prescription of the Vedas. As per the Vedas, we have 4 varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And what type of duties each one of these varnas is supposed to do is also elaborated in the Dharma Shastras. And even in Bhagavad-gītā, we see Krishna lists what is the nature of a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and what type of karma they should do. So, before one gets Dhrida Shraddha, he has to do his karma, because after Dhrida Shraddha, one is doing only direct devotional service, 24/7, uncovered by any karma, jnana, etc. Even if he does some karma, it is only to set example to others. He is not required to do any karma after Dhrida Shraddha. But before Dhrida Shraddha, one is required to follow the Varnashrama Dharma. Why only Daiva Varnashrama Dharma? Why not just live in any way, whimsical way that we like? Because when you are in Daiva Varnashrama Dharma, when you follow Daiva Varnashrama Dharma, you will be in Sattva Guna, the mode of goodness. And the mode of goodness is congenial to building faith, Shraddha, Dhrida Shraddha. That is why. So, what we are discussing here is the Lord is attracted to, when are we considered to be successful? Here, Srila Prabhupada is saying this Brahmana was so successful that the Supreme Lord was attracted to him. He was so successful in his. So what is it? What successful means what? Doing your karma and dharma very nicely and being recognized as the best Brahmana or the best Kshatriya or best Vaishya. Is that success? No. Success is, first, initially you have to enter into, this is pure devotional service. First, you have to get Dhrida Shraddha. To get Dhrida Shraddha, you have to hear the glories of the Supreme Lord and Bhakti from Bhagavad-gītā and Srimad Bhagavatam while doing our karma, simplified karma, and spending most of our time as much as possible in the association of devotees hearing Bhagavad-gītā and Bhagavatam. By that, gradually our Shraddha is increased. And when you get Dhrida Shraddha, so when you get some Shraddha, according to that Shraddha, you will be doing some bhajan, some chanting, some worshipping you will be doing. And as your Shraddha increases, you will also increase the amount of bhajan that you're doing. And when you get Dhrida Shraddha, means 100% faith. Now 100% you'll be doing only bhakti. You won't be doing anything else. But even after entering into this is pure devotional service, after Dhrida Shraddha. Even after entering into pure devotional service, there are various stages. What are these stages based on? The stages are based on the eradication of anarthas. Yes, you can do pure devotional service while you still have anarthas. But because now you're doing 24-hour bhajan, these anarthas will be removed very quickly. So, what are the stages? After you get Dhrida Shraddha, now you will be associating, because now 24 hours you'll be doing bhajan. That's your determination. So, you will look for sajatiya sadhus, right? First of all, you'll take shelter of a spiritual master, and under his guidance, you will be living in the association of sadhu sangha. And, Shravanam Kirtanam will be going on. That is bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya. And because of this Tivra Bhajan, anarthas are removed. Once the anarthas are removed, your bhajan becomes steady. Here in bhajan kriya, your bhajan is not steady because of anarthas. Sometimes your bhajan will become interrupted, but even though it is interrupted, you will be regretting so badly that, oh, I'm not able to do my bhajan, I'm not able to do my bhajan. Because of that regret, that repentance, you will maintain that platform. You'll be on the platform of pure devotional service. But after all anarthas, not all, most of the anarthas are removed, you come to the stage of nishtha where your bhajan is steady. Your bhajan is steady in nishtha. Then by that steady bhajan, now you develop ruchi. You get taste. And then after taste, you get attachment. And when you get attachment, after that, the next stage is bhava and then prema. So here it is said that Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was attracted to this brāhmaṇa. Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was attracted to this brāhmaṇa. What is Srila Prabhupada saying? Here. Actually, I'll just do this. That will be easy. Yes. So here, Srila Prabhupada is saying this is a good example of a person who had become so successful that he was able to capture the attention of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So, what captures the attention of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu? What captures the attention of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu is he is interested in bhakti. After Dhrida Shraddha, when one begins pure devotional service by sadhana, by this sadhana, one attracts the Lord's attention. You attract the Lord's attention. In this also, here especially, these stages are, when you're doing your sadhana is again, it can be either Vaidhi sadhana bhakti or Raganuga sadhana bhakti. It can be either one, depending on your qualification here. If the qualification is Dhrida Shraddha, then you'll be doing Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. If the qualification is Ruchi, you have taste, then you'll be doing Raganuga sadhana bhakti. Like that. So, but either way, and of the two, which is better, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti or Raganuga sadhana bhakti? Raganuga sadhana bhakti is better. The Lord is, there you're doing out of taste. Out of taste. So that is very sweet. That is more attractive to the Lord. But the point is, when you do sadhana, either you do Vaidhi sadhana or Raganuga sadhana, this is attracting the Lord's attention. The Lord is becoming attracted towards you. That's the point. And in that also, because what are these stages based on? These stages are based on the eradication of anarthas. Anarthas means we still have impurities in the heart, contamination in the heart. So, see, if you have milk, and in milk or you take anything, right? Even let's say water. Why? Just water. Water which has impurities, is that attractive or pure water is attractive? Pure water is attractive, isn't it? When you remove all contaminations from the water, that's why pure water is costly. But the water which is not so pure is not as costly because it's not so much it's not so attractive. Pure water is attractive. Similarly, these stages are for the eradication of anarthas. As the anarthas are here, anartha nivritti means, what are the anarthas? We have 4 types of anarthas: sukritotha, dushkritotha, bhaktiyotha, and aparadotha anarthas. So, in anartha nivritti stage, most of the anarthas are removed. That means sukritotha, dushkritotha, bhaktiyotha. Sukritotha means anarthas which you have because of previous pious activities. If somebody was used to performing a lot of punya karma, giving charity, doing this vrata, that tapasya, like that, then he has strong impressions or samskaras in his consciousness. He has strong impressions of sukriti. That can be an obstacle in the performance of pure devotional service. Because in pure devotional service, continuously you're perform. So it's like this, it can disturb his continuous devotional service. How, you know, um, he can, you can get so many, according to your prarabdha, right? You still have prarabdha because now you're in the initial stages of performing bhajan. So according to your prarabdha means your karma, the results which you are uh, reaping now in the present. So according to that, you can get wealth, uh, or you can get the association of beautiful women, or not like that, not sinful activities, of course, but just having, nice food and nice wealth, nice opulence, like that, high education and beauty, in a aristocratic family, like this. Not sinful. Yeah, you cannot have, sinful tendencies. But because of that, what happens is sometimes, uh, because of that happiness, material happiness or whatever, your bhajan can get interrupted. Of course, here the consciousness, because he already got Dhrida Shraddha, whenever there is such interruption because of Sukrutotanarthas, I'm explaining Sukrutotanarthas. Because of Sukriti, you have all these opulences. Because of that, sometimes if there is interruption, that means he's enjoying now. He's enjoying the Sukriti, whatever he has. So because of that, his bhajan is interrupted. But even while it is interrupted, what is the consciousness of this devotee? Dukkho darkamscha garhayan. He's experiencing so much pain in his heart. What kind of a devotee am I? I am supposed to be simply rendering devotional service for the pleasure of Krishna, but I'm thinking of, I'm enjoying myself. I'm so heinous. I'm so fallen. Like that, we will be thinking. That's why being a pure devotee is not an ordinary thing. It is not a cheap thing at all. And it is not a common thing, that you'll just find so many thousands of pure devotees around. It's not like that. A pure devotee, that is why we have to understand what is the consciousness of a pure devotee. You try to enter into the heart of the consciousness of a pure devotee. So the devotee feels like this. So even though, he may be in a situation where there is, opulences, etc., when we enjoy food, let's say, yes, it is prasadam, but am I honoring that prasadam because it is Krishna's prasad? This is Krishna's mercy. Or am I enjoying it because I love pizza? So, wow, I want more. What is my consciousness? Am I honoring that? And no problem, you're eating more, whatever. But what is the consciousness? Is it because of it being Krishna's mercy? And with that determination, oh, I should not waste Krishna's mercy, right? Krishna's kripa. And with that great gratitude, am I honoring? Or am I eating because I like rasgulla, I like gulab jamun, I don't like this, like that. So consciousness, that's why this whole movement is about consciousness, Krishna consciousness, being conscious. So a pure devotee is like this, always conscious, he's Krishna conscious. So he's, even though, but still it is in this anishtita bhajan. Anishtita means it is interrupted. His bhajan is interrupted here. It's not continuous. Why? Because of these anarthas. In anarthas, sukritotha means anarthas because of past pious activities. It can be interrupted. That means he's enjoying, not sinful things like, illicit sex and intoxication. No, not like that. Sinless ones like eating food. He's fond of eating even prasadam, let's say, but he's enjoying it. But eating prasad is not considered as, that's not interrupting. That's not interrupting, because prasad is directly Krishna's mercy. But just enjoying food or whatever, something like that. Like basically, this, because of Sukriti, he gets some opulences, and those, wearing nice clothes, for example. Yes. But while he's enjoying, no doubt. He's enjoying it, but while enjoying it, what is his consciousness? He's not like, wow, he's not able, he's enjoying it while crying. He's crying and he's enjoying. Oh, I'm so fallen, I'm so attached to these things, and he keeps enjoying. So, because of that repentance, constant repentance, he doesn't fall down from the platform of pure devotional service. Because of that constant repentance, what kind of a devotee I am. And he's enjoying side by side his consciousness. So that's what is happening here. That is sukritota anarthas. After anartha nivritti stage, when he comes to nishta, sukritota anarthas are finished. That means there is no more fluctuation in his bhajan because of sukritota anarthas. Not only sukritota, dushkritota. Dushkritota means sinful. Because of past sinful activities, there can be some obstacles. Of course, in sinful activities, the tendencies may be there. He will not act on those. He will not act on those, uh, you know, uh, sinful impressions, even if he has. Let's say, let's say, he gets attracted to one or to the opposite sex. He won't act on it. He won't act on it. But such tendencies are there, and because of the tendency, there is interruption in his bhajan. However, he keeps again, same, dukkho darkamscha garhayan. He's thinking, what kind of a devotee I am? My God. So he is completely beside himself with that torment, actually, that I'm not able to perform my devotional service. And, like that. Or praying to Krishna, calling out to Krishna, like that. So that's why he remains on the platform of pure devotional service, even though his bhajan is anishtita. It's not nishta. Continuously, it's not happening. It's being interrupted by these anarthas. So sukritota, dushkritota, bhaktiyota. Bhaktiyota anarthas means because of bhakti, you get, by performing bhakti, you get name, fame, following, wealth, what else? Skills, all these things you'll get by performance of bhakti, right? You get a position. All of a sudden, you become the temple president, or, the leader of a group of devotees. And then by that position, you get distracted from your bhajan, right? How? You get pride, right? You start enjoying. The point here is your continuous bhajan becomes distracted. It becomes interrupted. So because of your post and your position, and, you become a great singer, or the great, deity, an expert in dressing the deities, or an expert in making garlands, an expert in cooking wonderful bhoga for the Lord. And as a result of this, you get so much recognition, and that distracts you from your bhajan. These are called bhaktiyota anarthas. Because of your bhakti, performance of bhakti, you are awarded these merits. But now you start enjoying those results, material, on the material platform, you get material results also by performing bhakti. So then, if you get distracted, your bhajan is anishtita. So all that is happening here before anartha. So in anartha nivritti means, but still your bhajan is continuously going on. You're not stopping your bhajan. there is interruption, but during that interruption, you're regretting and repenting, and your endeavor is continuously going on. A good example for this is, um, I go to the temple in the morning, taking my daughter behind me on the two-wheeler. So, some places when we go, we have to, like really, it's steep. We have to go uphill. Uh, Actually, we have to go through a field and then get out of the field. To get out of the field onto the road, we have to, it's high. We have to go up like that. So, uh, at a certain point, I am accelerating, but we are not able to move forward. Sometimes I have to tell my daughter, you get down so I can, go there. Once I get on top, then you can sit down again. And the first time when that happened, I just remembered this analogy of Dhrida Shraddha. Once you get Dhrida Shraddha, that endeavor to do direct devotional service does not stop. You may be stopped from performing bhakti. You may be stopped from performing bhakti, but your endeavor to do bhakti is not stopped. Just like when we were trying to go on top, my accelerator was still on, like vroom, 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 right? But we are not moving forward. The vehicle is just there. However, my endeavor didn't stop. I'm still accelerating. If I had turned off the gas, turned off the vehicle, that means now there is no endeavor. Either the vehicle is, I have to accelerate, or physically I have to push. But I have to do that endeavor. If I give up my endeavor and the vehicle is stopped, that means that's different. That is before Dhrida Shraddha. Before Dhrida Shraddha, the endeavor is also not there. Sometimes I endeavor, right? Okay, I have to chant my rounds. For some time I'm chanting. Oh, now I have to attend the morning program. I go. Oh, now I have to do arti. Now I have to do this. In between time, what am I doing? I'm turning off my vehicle. There's no endeavor at that time. Of course, endeavor means it either through body, mind, or speech, one way or the other. So before Dhrida Shraddha, that is the thing. It's turned off. That Shraddha, because I'm lacking in Shraddha, or let's say I ran out of gas, I ran out of petrol, right? So because I ran out of gas, so the vehicle is stopped. So throughout the day, my Shraddha, sometimes I have Shraddha, I remember and I do. And when I don't have Shraddha, then my mind goes to, oh, my family, or, oh, what's going on? There's a war going on there and this and that. That means during that time, the vehicle is shut down. Shraddha went down. This is the position of before Dhrida Shraddha. But after Dhrida Shraddha, what happens? Like that, your endeavor doesn't stop, but you may be stopped because of anarthas. Your anarthas may temporarily interrupt your bhajan. It may be sukritot anartha, it can be dushkritot anartha, it can be aparadot anartha. Oh, the fourth one I didn't say. I said sukritota, dushkritota, bhaktiota. By bhakti also you get some results. Or by pious activities, punya karma, you have some results. Or by dushkarma. But because of those results, your bhakti is becoming interrupted in anishtita bhajan. But still, even though your bhakti is interrupted, you are called a pure devotee. Why? Because you are called a pure devotee in spite of that interruptions, because your endeavor is not stopped. You keep endeavoring. Your vehicle is not turned off. You're endeavoring. That's why. But what happens after this anartha nivritti stage? These three are removed completely. Completely means again nishta. By the time you come to ruchi, completely all three are removed. Sukritota, dushkritota, and bhaktiota, anarthas are completely removed. there are also stages meaning levels of removal. Prayika and atyantika. Prayika, and there's one more I think in between. Prayika means 99%. Praya, जैसे हिंदी में बोलते हैं. Right? Prayika means most of them, almost all are removed. Then the next one is completely removed. Full, 100% they are removed. And atyantika means they are removed and they will not come back also. But when 100% are removed, still there is a chance of them coming back. Like for now, it is removed. Just like, how can I say, when you're weeding the field, you have burnt everything. So the field looks clean. Now there are no weeds. Or even if you're plowing, let's say, you plowed the field, so you're not seeing any weeds on the field. So what will you say? There's no weeds. But again, after a few days, you'll see the weeds coming back up. But after plowing, is it wrong to say there are no weeds? No, there are no weeds. But there's always a possibility of the weeds coming back. So like that, atyantika means they will not even come back, fully gone. So atyantika removal, destruction of these three anarthas, sukritota, dushkritota and bhaktyota anarthas. Atyantika, that means they are completely removed and they will not come back. This will happen by the time you come to ruchi stage. So that's why I was showing you this. I'm sharing, right? Mataji, you're able to see, right? When I show the diagram.
Not yet, Mataji.
Oh, I have to share. Huh? Acha. Now you can see.
Yes, Mataji, now I can see.
Atyantika. So when we come to this stage of ruchi, atyantika removal of these anarthas happens. But there is the fourth type called aparadhotanartha. Aparadha means because of offenses, especially these 10 offenses to the holy name. These are very, very powerful, like a stain, oil, turmeric stain, haldi stain on your dress, on some cloth. It doesn't go away easily. Even after you wash, it remains. You have to keep washing again and again and again and again and again. And still some faint, stain remains like that. So our aparadhas, offenses, they are not removed so easily. They'll remain. So that I told you, these stages are based on the eradication of anarthas. So when you come to this stage, those three anarthas are removed. Atyantika, that means they won't come back, but you still have aparadhot anarthas. Can you imagine even in the stage of asakti? Asakti means there's so much attraction for the Supreme Lord. The mind is always dwelling in the Supreme Lord. Maya sakta manah partha, yogam yunjan madashraya. Right? That is asakti stage. The mind is fixed on the Lord. In earlier stages, like a pendulum, right? Your mind goes away from Krishna, you have to pull it back to Krishna. Your mind goes away, you have to pull it back to Krishna. When you come to asakti, for you to do some dealings in this world, you have to pull your mind away from Krishna and it automatically goes back to Krishna. You have to pull it away to do some dealings in this world, and the mind just, its natural position of the mind is to always stay at the lotus feet of Krishna. Mind is always fixed. That is asakti stage. There also aparadhota anarthas are there. Can you imagine? Why only there? The next bhava bhakti stage, where you're actually experiencing these ecstasies, like we see about this brāhmaṇa, he's experiencing pulaka, romanch. His hair is standing on end, and tears, trembling. Where do we see such symptoms? Do we see that in us? Trembling of the body? No, this happens in bhava bhakti. Bhava bhakti. In bhava bhakti, those symptoms are there, intermittently. But when you come to prema, continuously they'll be there, the symptoms of ecstasy. So bhava is like a, it's the budding stage of prema, like that. So this is bhava and this is prema. So in bhava also, you can have the aparadota anarthas from offenses. Even in bhava you can have. And when you come to prema, all the aparadha anarthas are removed, 100%. So in bhava prayika, that means most of the aparadhas are removed. There may be some. It's not like there will be. There may be. In bhava stage also there may be. When you come to prema, everything is removed. Like that plowing of the field, all weeds are removed. Like that, all aparadhas are removed. However, even in prema stage, there is a possibility of those aparadhota anarthas coming back. Can you imagine? They are not there in prema, but they can come back. They can come at any stage. They can come. And after prema, when you get prema, what happens is Bhagavad Sakshatkar. You get, the direct darshan of Krishna, Bhagavad Sakshatkar. Even here in Bhava also you are experiencing the Lord, but within your heart. You hear his sound. He can speak to you and you can hear within your heart. You can hear his ankle bells. But this is happening in the heart, spurana, right? You're not seeing him in front of you directly. That happens in prema. We see, in Bilva Mangal Thakur's case, we hear how Krishna every day he would come and, tell him so many things and talk to him. Bilva Mangal Thakur didn't have eyesight, so he couldn't see. But he was very fond. Or with Madhavendra Puri, we see, Srila Madhavendra Puri. Krishna brought pot of milk for him, right? Like that. So directly in person, you'll see. That means if a person is getting, by performing sadhana or, by going through these stages, after prema, if he gets sakshatkar of the Lord, he's able to see the Lord eye to eye, face to face, means all his anarthas, aparadot anarthas are also removed. Atyantika. Atyantika means they won't come back also. They cannot come back. That's the only proof. If you get direct sakshatkar of the Lord, even after you get love, Krishna prema, in Krishna prema there are no aparadhas. When you are in that stage of prema bhakti, there are no aparadhas. But they can come. But once you get sakshatkar of the Lord, no, they won't come back. Finished. And when you get sakshatkar means it's like you went back to Godhead, like that. That means even though you may be in this world, you are as good as liberated and you are in the spiritual world. You are seeing the Lord means what? Just like Ajamil saw the Vishnu Dutas means what? He saw Vishnu Dutas means it's as good as liberated, he is in Vaikuntha. It's like that. However, he got some extra time. Actually, it's because of the miscalculation of the Yamadutas that they came before time. So then it was found out that, oh no, he has 12 more years, prarabdha, in that body. So yeah, now you can go and practice devotional service to be prepared in the Vaikuntha planet, how to serve the Lord, like that. So he got 12 more years. But the point is, if you get darshan of the Lord or the Lord's parshadas in the spiritual world, it's as good as being liberated, like going back there. It's like that. All your anarthas, everything is finished. So now, coming back to our shloka here, he became successful. That's what I was trying to explain. This brāhmaṇa who was reciting Bhagavad-gītā every day, he became so successful by his recitation of Bhagavad-gītā every day. And by the way, he was illiterate. He couldn't even read properly. Still, he became so successful by that service of reading Bhagavad-gītā every day that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became attracted to him. He was able to capture the attention of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu. So what attracts the Supreme Lord is our discussion here. What attracts the Supreme Lord is bhakti only. Bhakti only is attract. And in that also, this devotee, either he's in bhava or prema, because he's already exhibiting these symptoms of ecstasy. So he's either in bhava or prema. Mahaprabhu now comes in front of him directly. So, Mahaprabhu is attracted. He was so successful. How is he successful? Because he came to that stage of bhava and prema. That is why those ecstasies are being manifest in his body. So he was so successful that he captured the attention of Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu, even while reading Bhagavad-gītā incorrectly. His spiritual activities did not depend on material things such as correct pronunciation. That's why Krishna consciousness, right? The consciousness is important. He is reciting Bhagavad-gītā, even though materially it was incorrect, improper, but look at the consciousness. He's in the stage of bhava prema where he is exhibiting these symptoms of ecstasy. That's what Krishna is interested in. Our consciousness. Now you shouldn't say that, okay, then, now you start criticizing those who are learning properly because bhava grahi janardana. Krishna is saying you only need bhava. So why we have to learn so many things? Let us simply develop bhava. My dear friend, bhava is here. Go step by step. You get attracted to postgraduates, facilities and privileges and, the position. But to become a postgraduate, you have to go through kindergarten, high school, college, and then finally you get there. Bhavagrahi Janardana, of course, Krishna wants your bhava. But to get that bhava, you cannot just jump. Of course, we should have that consciousness, like be conscious when we are doing whatever service at our level, instead of doing mechanically without putting our heart. These are all grades. At least do something. That's lowest. Yes, do something. Do, even if your mind is not there, just do. That's the lowest. But better than that is do with your heart. Consciously do it. That's certainly better. That is certainly better. But we have to do whatever service we do in the best way possible. In the best way possible. We have to put everything we have on the table. Our energy, our intelligence, our knowledge, whatever we have gained, use everything in making the best offering for Krishna. Then it's very pleasing to Krishna. So, yes, here it is said, he is not attracted to the erudition and, learning and pronunciation and all that. But when, if you're able to learn properly, he was illiterate. But that was not a disqualification in coming to the stage of bhava and prema. That is the point we should take. We should not derive other meanings. We should take the meaning that is intended here. His not being literate is not a disqualification in his becoming a bhava bhakta, prema bhakta. It's not a disqualification. His spiritual activities did not depend on material things. So can an illiterate person, become a pure devotee? Of course. Example, brāhmaṇa from Srirangam. Now, does that mean all devotees should remain illiterate so that they can become pure devotees? No, that's not the meaning. Then why Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas have given us so many books if we have to remain illiterate? That's not the idea. Okay. So his spiritual activities did not depend on material things such as correct pronunciation. Rather, his success depended on strictly following the instructions of his spiritual master. Yes. So, and the spiritual master gives instructions according to the capabilities of the disciple. One disciple is illiterate, so he will give him some instruction, and another disciple has, he's highly learned, he may give another instruction for that. And not just about your, visible qualifications. The spiritual master can see your past also. He can see what type of samskaras you have. He's not only seeing external position, he's able to see in your heart. He's able to see what type of samskaras you have, what type of anarthas you have. And to remove those anarthas, he will give his mercy, and also mercy, he can give direct mercy simply to remove those anarthas, and he can also give instructions. That is also his mercy. Spiritual master's instructions to us is also his mercy. Through those instructions, when we carry out those instructions, our anarthas are being removed and we are progressing in bhakti. So the success in spiritual life depends on strictly following the instructions of the spiritual master. Example, this brāhmaṇa in South India who was illiterate, he didn't know how to read or write, but the spiritual master tells him every day you should recite 18 chapters of Bhagavad-gītā. And he takes the spiritual master's order as his life and soul. And every day he's reciting aloud. He's reciting entire Bhagavad-gītā, 18 chapters in the temple of Ranganath. And all this while, every day, all the other brahmanas are mocking him, criticizing him, joking, and he's tolerating all that. Still, he's holding on to the instruction given by the spiritual master. And he came to a stage where simply by opening Bhagavad-gītā and reading, constantly tears are coming from his eyes. His body is trembling in ecstasy. यस्य देवे परा भक्तिर यथा देवे तथा गुरौ तस्यैते कथिता ह्यर्थाः प्रकाशन्ते महात्मनः यस्य देवे परा भक्तिर yatha deve tatha gurau. So what is the importance of following the instructions of the spiritual master is being explained here in this verse of Śvētāśvatar Upanishad. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. So, yasya deve para bhaktir tatha deve tatha gurau. Yasya deve para bhaktir. That means para bhakti for the Supreme Lord. Yasya, a person who has para bhakti. Para bhakti means transcendental devotional service. He has bhakti for the Supreme Lord. That means he has utmost, bhakti means here utmost respect and worship. For who? For the Supreme Lord. That person who gives the highest position, highest priority to the Lord, the Supreme Lord. Yasya deve para bhakti. Para, right? The topmost position is giving to the Lord. That means position means he has so much bhakti. Para bhakti means he has utmost bhakti, utmost reverence to the Lord. That person who has utmost bhakti to the Lord, yatha deve tatha guru, and the way he has bhakti for the Lord, tatha guru, the same way he has for the spiritual master also. Okay? Yasya deve para bhaktir, yatha deve tatha guru. As much as worship or respect he has for the Lord, the same amount of respect and worship he has for the spiritual master. Tasyaite kathitahi arthaha prakashante mahatmanaha. So to that person, all the meanings are revealed, prakashante mahatmanaha. They are automatically revealed. All imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed in his heart. That means he does not have to be literate. He doesn't have to know reading, writing, or he doesn't have to have, he doesn't have to be a brāhmaṇa, a dvija, so on. No, not required. What is required? They will be manifest within his heart. That means he will know. He will be, the imports of all the Vedas is revealed to him. In another way we can understand, What is the essence? What is the conclusion of all Vedic knowledge? Surrender to the Supreme Lord. So this person who has implicit faith in the Lord and the spiritual master, he will know. It's not necessary that he will know all the verses of all the Vedas and, that's not what is being said. Artha. Artha means the conclusion. The conclusion of all Shastras is known to him because of his implicit faith in the Lord and the spiritual master. The conclusion of all the Vedas. What is the conclusion of all Vedas? Surrender to the Supreme Lord, pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord. That is why he will be endeavoring to do pure devotional service to the Lord all the time. So what is the way for us? Path? Faith. Shraddha. Implicit faith. Dhrida Shraddha. So when you say Dhrida Shraddha, what is that Dhrida Shraddha? You have that faith, implicit faith in Krishna, implicit faith in the spiritual master, in bhakti. You cannot separate. When you say Krishna, then Krishna, Guru, pure devotees, devotional service, everything is together. You cannot separate one from the other. So a person who has this Dhrida Shraddha, implicit faith in the Lord and the spiritual master, to such a person, the conclusion of the Vedas is revealed even if he is not literate. This verse is important. You can memorize this. Yasya deve parabhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hi arthaha tasyaite kathita hi arthaha prakashante mahatmanaha tasyaite kathita hi arthaha prakashante mahatmanaha. And the meaning is, only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Actually, the meaning of the words of the Bhagavad-gītā or Srimad Bhagavatam are revealed to one strictly following the orders of the spiritual master. See? The meaning, that is why the meanings of Bhagavad-gītā and Srimad Bhagavatam are revealed. They're revealed. We cannot understand simply. There are so many commentaries on Bhagavad-gītā by those who are not devotees. The meanings of Bhagavad-gītā are not revealed to them. That is why it is essential. You have to come in the disciplic succession, parampara, of pure devotees. And that meaning, by following the order of the spiritual master, coming in a bona fide disciplic succession, then the meanings of Bhagavad-gītā and Srimad Bhagavatam are revealed. And also, what do you mean by, coming in the disciplic succession? You have to live according to that instruction. Not that, okay, I have taken Diksha, so now everything is revealed to me. Diksha is initiation. It's the beginning. We have to follow the orders. The more you follow, the more it's revealed. Actually, the meaning of the words of Bhagavad-gītā or Srimad Bhagavatam are revealed to one strictly following the orders of the spiritual master. They are also revealed to one who has equal faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So both are required. It's not one or the other. Either you have faith in spiritual master or you have in Krishna and everything is revealed to you. It's not like that. They are like the parallel tracks, railway tracks. Both have to be there. Spiritual master, faith in spiritual master, faith in Krishna. Together, both have to be there. Not one or the other. The spiritual master, how do you serve the spiritual master? By carrying out his order, making his order, his mission, your life and soul. And the spiritual master's order is not different from, the spiritual master's mission or his instructions are not different from what the Lord says in Bhagavad-gītā. So there's always, because sometimes, if the spiritual master is misleading in some cases, like, what's his name? Shukracharya's instructing Bali Maharaj not to surrender to the Lord. Sometimes you may end up in such situation. That's why there is triangular check. Spiritual master, when he says something, you check, means you can check means you can confirm it through Shastra and Sadhu. Sadhus and Shastra. So the spiritual master's instruction, you can confirm through Sadhu and Shastra. Now what is said in Shastra am I understanding properly or not? Because I may not be in, here it is said, you have to be qualified. That's when the meanings of Shastra are revealed to you. I may be reading, but I may not understanding properly. My understanding of Shastra is proper or not. How do I know? I have to confirm it through the spiritual master and sadhu. When you, whatever you hear from Shastra, how to understand that? You confirm with spiritual master and sadhu. And when you see a sadhu, is this sadhu a bona fide sadhu or not? How do you know? You have to confirm with spiritual master and Shastra. Therefore, triangular check means all three are important. To know about one, you have to consult the other two, all three. But ultimately, even for Guru and for Sadhu, what is the guiding principle? What is the pramana? What is the authority? Shastra is the authority. Shastra pramanam. Shastra is the authority. But can I simply, I will read Shastra and I don't need Guru and Sadhu? No, you won't understand like that. Krishna is not such a fool that simply on my own I will go. No, you cannot. At every stage, we need the mercy of Guru, Sadhu, and with the guidance of Shastra. Shastra, you cannot push one aside. All three are important. Otherwise, it will become sentimentalism. If we are not following Shastra, oh, like this person and this person, how to check if you are going properly on the road or you're getting distracted? You need the road map. That's Shastra. So, they are also revealed to one who has equal faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means both are there required. Faith in the Lord, faith in spiritual master. In other words, being faithful to both Krishna and the spiritual master is the secret of success in spiritual life. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. I am actually supposed to do this class for half an hour, but I have a problem that I cannot stop. Some points keep coming and I'm like, oh, I have to say this. So
We like it, Mataji, no problem. We before in the morning I was contemplating, like, even you explain it so nicely, and then the beauty of explanation is always that you like preemptively see what other person can come up with for that particular point, and then you explain. So before the thought comes to the mind that why would they even let Putana in, there is an explanation already there given. So it is so helpful, like you kind of close all the possibilities, and that is so good, because sometimes when you hear a class and then uh, you may ask one question, okay, but then there are like few more questions, and then they kind of remain unanswered for some time, till somebody else or you read, and then you're like, acha, that's why, but I really admire how thorough you are to close them. So now there is no question, like now you are clear, like, okay, so why did Putna, what was Putna that she could even come to Krishna? Okay, she was already in the previous life, you
right.
know.
Yes.
So it is, and you connect it, like, so you kind of close all the possibilities of you preemptively see what another person can say. So I really admire, and that's why, to kind of explain all the points, it sometimes takes more time.
Time.
And but it is from the other perspective of people who are trying to grasp it and understand, like, correctly, it is very helpful, like, honestly. So I'm grateful that I look forward, if I can, somehow attend. I look forward to it.
Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna. I
You very,
appreciate
very
your.
rightly said also, the offenses, we have to be very careful, because they don't go so easily.
Easily.
Like, some things that we have done previously, we are not conscious of it, because of the forgetfulness. But we have faith in hearing and chanting, that if we are sincerely hearing and chanting, those anarthas we can be removed. But the offenses, cannot be removed. So we have to be very conscious and careful in our dealings to not make any mistake, so that it doesn't hinder our sadhana
Yes, Mataji. Being very, very sensitive in our dealings with
dealings.
bhakti. Bhakti means the Lord, devotees, and the services, devotional service that we render. Being very, very sensitive, because uh, bhakti is a conscious personality, conscious
Yes.
being. So when that sensitivity is lost, that's when we commit offenses. So being always very, very sensitive, that is the key, so that we don't commit offenses. Because once becoming very rash, right, hard-hearted, that's actually the result of offense. One offense leads to this consequence, and as a result of that, we commit more and more and more offenses, and our heart becomes so hard that we become completely insensitive. So, and then we know offenses, they stay until even the last stages. So being alert in the beginning itself, by being very, very sensitive in our dealings with even scripture like Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-gītā, scriptures, not committing offenses. Because when we say being, again, insensitive, we can make some comments, we can say some things either about scripture, about devotees, about the Lord, about devotional service. Many times, even without our knowledge, we are committing offenses like that. So being very, very sensitive is important. Yes, thank you, Mataji. I will end here. Yeah. Śrī Caitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samavita Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.